This webinar, it's me again, Wei Hao, who looks after the project CCTV line. It's glad to see you guys here in the session today. In today's webinar, we're going to talk about the new DeepinMind AI Box that can be widely used in mobile tower applications. First of all, let's take a briefing look of this new product. As you can see, the size is quite compact and it looks different from our normal recorders. It's about the same size as my hand. But please don't be fooled by its smaller size. This is a perfect product to put inside a mobile CCTV tower for stable outdoor operation just because of its compact size and the lightweight design. This model supports up to 4 channels of either Hikvision or third-party video streams in regards to perimeter protection. What's interesting is this model is powered by our large model technology to reach long distance and accurate human or vehicle VCA detection. You might be curious to know what is the large model technology. Don't worry about it, I'll walk you into it in the later section of today's presentation. Next, let's look at the basic parameters of the DeepinMind AI Box. As mentioned before, because of the help of the large model technology, the AI Box can detect targets up to 120 meters and is able to classify human and vehicle, plus improved false alarm filtering performance compared to AccuSense technology. Despite its compact size, it actually has pre-installed SSD storage, which has a 1 terabyte SSD, and it can store videos for 2 weeks and more. And the video box can be operated outdoor stably due to its ultra-low power consumption of maximum 15 watts and the wide operation temperature ranging from minus 30 degrees Celsius all the way to 65 degrees Celsius. So the customer can trust it for 24/7 monitoring, recording and analyzing. The AI box also has variable interfaces to link other useful functions like Live guard, speaker, 4G dongle, and so on. You can actually see what interface it has in the back of the box. Since we have mentioned the large model technology several times now, I think it's a good time to finally introduce you guys to it. Basically, large model is a more advanced deep learning technology where we have integrated different kind of models, including audio, vision, multimodal models, and so on. And we have applied lots of data and parameters which make the algorithm be used in a variety of scenarios. And we have improved the accuracy. And to train the models more efficiently, we have acquired powerful computational resources like GPUs or TPUs to make it a dedicated technology to fine-tune the models for different application scenarios. You might ask what kind of benefits the customer can get from the large model technology. Well, first, they will definitely get accurate target detection with a significant reduction of false alarms. From our tests before, the false alarms has been reduced by 80% compared to AccuSense while using the large model technology. Plus, you can get a more timely alarm response with a lower delay. And since we have adopted so many data and parameters, the large model technology now has a very strong scenario adaptability. If you feel boring about hearing me saying these selling points, here are some real data to back up the results. As you can see from the report data, the VCA powered by large model technology has much more reduced false alarm rates compared to AccuSense technology in complicated things. As some of you might know, all of these things above come from our European HQ. And what's more powerful about the large model technology? As we know, for regular AccuSense camera with around 5mm lens, the maximum detection distance of human and vehicle is normally ranged from 35 meters to 60 meters. However, the AI box-based VCA detection can reach to 120 meters distance day and night with a very short detection delay thanks to the large model technology. To make the whole presentation more vivid, here are some video examples we got from the previous test we've done. First, you can see the AI box can detect human targets walking around from 120 meters without any problem. And you can see the target box around the person and its corresponding confidence value. And in the next video, you can see all the people were crouch walking in the scene, and the AI box can pick up all of the targets very promptly. I believe some of you know that crouch walking used to be very hard to be recognized and detected by the previous technology, and can cause potential risks to the customer. To make the whole technology more convincing, we even tried to detect people in reflective vests using the AI box. As you can see, it picks up the target with no problem at all. Reflective vests used to be such a pain in the head during the night because how much IR reflection it could cause to the camera to make it lose targets and cause uncountable loss to the end user. Interestingly, all of the video examples above were actually made by my colleagues and me. Even us were very surprised towards the actual performance of the AI box. Additionally, to make the AI box more practical to various industrial scenarios, it has a very good flexibility to integrate it with other systems. It supports 4 third-party cameras via UNVIF protocol and also provides various API interfaces like IS API, SDK, HTTP, and FTP. Moreover, it also supports user-defined HTTP, making the AI box very flexible and easy for the integration with customers' requirements. Well, if the customer is using other third-party VMS, they can also receive the data from the AI box via Cloud HPP or ARC gateway. As you could already imagine, because of the strong performance, ability to detect targets in a very long range, and its compact size, for short perimeter protection, the AI box can be used in somewhere like a small car park or a small construction site. When it gets to the medium ranges, it is perfect for an infrastructure site or some energy sites for mobile deployment. And when we are talking about any longer perimeter protection, say larger than 80 meters, the AI box can be deployed anywhere like around the border or solar parks where it's very difficult to find a conventional server room for a normal recorder. After the product showcase, let's now move on to some demonstration for the configuration of the AI box.
Because the AI box has Ethernet interface, we can always locate the device by using SADP and log into its web interface by the IP address. Input the username and the password to log into the device. As you can see, it has a normal interface of a GUI 5.0, and as you can see from here, you already got 2 cameras connected to it. And the AI box allows you to add cameras by different protocols, and you can even have your custom protocols as usual, as long as the network can be achieved. And for the sake of demonstration, we're just going to add 1 more camera by inputting its IP address and then the password. Click OK, and the camera should be added to the AI box soon. Also, you can directly edit the camera parameters from the AI box web interface, like basic display settings, OSD settings, some video parameters, and choose to enable dual VCA or not, or even draw a privacy mask, all directly from the web interface of the AI box. And now let's look at some event configuration. Here you can see you're allowed to configure all the basic events, but today we're going to focus on the perimeter protection. Here you can see an interesting thing is all the smart events are defaulted AI by device. That means as long as the camera channel is connected to the AI box is going to do the smart event by itself, meaning from the backend, not through the camera. So here we're going to take intrusion detection as an example. As you could see, normally we should draw max and minimum boxes, but in AI box, since it uses the help of the large model technology, this is no longer necessary because the large model already has so many data and samples for analysis, unless there are certain requirements to the certain environments. Otherwise, the maximum and minimum boxes would not be necessary. Here you could also set your linkages, and you could set each linkage action separately by clicking to the configuration. And you can also draw a shielded area if there's some sensitive area in the actual scenario where the end user don't want them to be monitored or analyzed. The AI box also comes with the ability of abnormal behavior events like loitering, parking detection, objects removal, unattended bags, people gathering, or people fast moving. And you're also able to configure the alarm inputs and combine events by having two events triggered one by one, once me and once sub. And we also have audio events for sure. So in linkage configurations, you can see we have FTP, and you're also allowed to update videos into the FTP folder, and email, of course. And for HTTP listening, and now you're allowed to attach a picture during the listening as well. And of course, alarm output and audio alarm output if you have some audio device connected to the back of the AI box. And the security control panel, meaning the ARC. Here is an interesting one. So you could see we can configure the engine status from the VCA. And here you can actually select which distance modes you want the AI box to keep in. One short distance ranging from 0 to 60, and one's medium from 60 to 80, or the longest all the way to 120 meters. Here you can see we actually have two active channels using the VCA, using the perimeter protection engine, because we haven't configured the third camera. And here in the display alarm interface, after you choose the channels you want to see the live view, you can see whenever there's a valid target that matches profile on top, the figure on the screen would change after a target is recognized. So let's go back to the web interface again. And let's check the past events since we were talking about valid targets. Let's set the timer to a past week. As you can see, it has all the events here listed on the page, and you could also narrowing down your searching results by select a specific search type. As you can see here, we have pages of events triggered by either human or vehicle target. And then let's move on to the storage management. As you can see here, the storage has been defaulted into eMMC or the built-in SSD. And you can see this SSD has been full since we've got this device for testing for months now. But of course, you could always initialize it once it's full. In video recording, you could set different footage quota for different channels. As you could see here, we've got video expired time, meaning after how many days the video would be overwritten. See here, if I choose to expire 1 day, it will tell you that the video would be overwritten after 1 day. But in default, it's set to never expire, since in most of the mobile deployment projects, the camera would always be there for a short while, so it's set to default to never expire. When we go to system information page, you can see it's all the same with normal recorders. You could always set RS-232 or 485 options if you got any external device. And you're also allowed to create different users for the AI box, giving them different password or different permissions, as usual. And in network options, since this one has 2 network ports, it has network tolerance or multi-address network mode and all the other usual goodies for different network settings. And you could set it to connect to HiConnect as well, and using other API interfaces as mentioned. Also, you could expand the storage by using cloud storage or upload the logs to a log server. And this supports HTTP and HTTPS settings, of course. And it also provides different exception alarms for sure. And here's an interesting one. So at the end of the toolbar on top, you can see there's an option called device debugging, which is the new feature for the GUI 5.0 device, where you can collect all kinds of device debug information all from one place. So it makes it easier for troubleshooting and material collection. As you could see, it includes USB debug or SSH debug. You just click into it and start collecting. Well, this is the end of the operation video. Let's move on to the next part, which is the Q&A.
Guys, welcome back to the live. I could see some of you were already interested to this product and you have your concerns. Let's start with the first one. Someone's asking, why should you select different distances if I can just keep it with 120 meters detection while and have the best and longest range? Well, for now, if you select the longest range, which is the 120 meters detection, because the longest range, because each distance mode uses different kind of models and resources. So for now, if you select 120 meters, it only gives you the capability of connecting 2 channels only rather than full 4 channels. But we do know this there is still room for improvement. So in the future, we're planning to implement the longest range into all 4 channels. So yeah, please expect that in the future. And then someone's asking, is there can we transmit the alarm to the DC09 interface? I guess that's the industrial interface, but not to my knowledge, no. But if you do have the specific requirements, we can get you a quotation based on the actual project. So yeah, it could be done if you can provide the detailed project background, but it's not a baseline feature now. And is it possible to upload only events to FTP or HTTP? Yes, of course. If you untick the pictures or videos that you don't want to upload to the terminal, you can only receive events. Engine switching distance. Can you explain this a bit more? It's not particularly limited to the lens size when you select distance, rather. So it's not limited to the lens size, because basically the distance mode is based on the large model technology, and it only use streaming from the camera. So whenever you could get a video through, the large model will start analyzing based on the video. It all depends the resolution. As long as it's clear enough, we could start analyzing. But the reason why we select between different distance modes is just to choose the best fitment to the actual environment, see how far is the camera actually away from the scene. And is it possible to use customer stream to send? Yeah, of course. That's always been a thing for most of our Hikvision products. What is the power required for this box I'm looking for installed on the solar tower? Oh, that is a really good question, actually. Currently, the AI box has a standard 48 volt power supply that comes within the box. But to my personal knowledge, I know most of the popular mobile towers on the market, they support either 12 volts or 24 volts. We do realize this problem. That's why in the near future we'll soon have this solution where the AI box will adapt and 24 volt power supply just to fit most of the mobile tower market. We do realize that 24 volt and 12 volts are the most popular options for mobile towers, and also like before the actual product switch, we'll definitely evaluate the most suitable solution. So the customer who has bought the old model with a 48 volt, they won't have their loss to be not able to use the old one with a new power supply. And about the 4G dongle, we actually do support a lot of third-party ones. We do have a compatibility list for the product to be supported with. Is there a way to use OpenVPN? I mean, as soon as you could promise your network was communicating through the VPN properly, yes, you can. It's just like a normal NVI as well. And since somebody also mentioned the 2 terabyte SSD, so about the storage expansion, as I showed in the video before, you could actually take the back panel off and you could see the SSD. And for now, for maximum expansion, we support up to 2 terabyte SSD now. Have you tested? Oh, that is a really good question, because I just tested it last week. So basically, as some of you might have realized, that the ability for long distance recognition is kind of in overlap with our thermal cameras. So for now, this AI box does not support thermal cameras. So if you have a cameras that with both thermal and optical channels, when you connect the camera to the AI box, you will realize that you could only see the optical channel, and the thermal channel won't even appear in the list. But yeah, soon we will support the thermal image as well. So but for now, it's just optical channel. So I personally haven't got the data for minimum resolution in terms of pixel per meter, but the minimum resolution requirement for the AI box to analyze the video is 2 meg. So your resolution needs to be 2 megapixel above for the AI box to properly analyze the video. So if you stream from the camera needs to be 2 meg or higher. When can this item be delivered? Well, Ed, it really depends on the area you're in. You need to communicate with your local sales team, because the different regions have we have different product releasing plan. So you need to talk to your BDM, your sales representative, and he shall be able to give that answer to you. Distance, having the options to have different distance mode in poor weather condition, i.e. high fog, will detect close range. Yeah, surely, and it kind of depends on your installation environment as well. But in our tests, even it was raining with heavy reflection from the raindrops in front of the camera, we were still able to get all the alarms that were supposed to be delivered. if we don't use thermals, do we get false alarms above? Not really, as it mentions in the slides before, because this one really uses the large model where it has loads of data samples and video samples. So through the deep learning process, so to a very large extent, we have minimum the ability of false alarms caused by such things as weather condition or reflection or even static item. And before, because we carried this experiment out in a very large car park of the company where it used to have loads of false alarms from the reflection of car windows or even car paint or even through snow or rain. But with the comparison test over the time of several months, we could see the results from the AI box actually surprised us, because nearly none of those false alarms caused by reflection or poor weather condition got picked up in the final results compared to conventional recorders like AccuSense recorders. If I have an AX Pro alarm installed with volumetric barriers, is there a way the NVR can trigger a speed dome to? Yes, of course. In the linkage action, like all our major NVRs, it does have the option to trigger PTZ as long as you could make the network is through and they can talk to each other. Then you could select your linked PTZ area whenever a certain event is triggered. Talking about this, it makes me think of a question I got asked before, is the one-key disarming, because some people think this one's, the size is quite small, quite compact. Will it work as a normal NVR for one-key arm or disarm? Yes, the answer is yes. So if you go to alarm input on the web interface, you will see the exactly same interface as a normal NVR, where you could handle the input alarms and choose to one-key quick arm or quick disarm. My FOV with the right is not. So we can note that 120 meters detection applies to Mag 2.8 with the cameras, because then we AccuSense with object would be much higher, because then we can assume with would be much higher distance. Well, in our test we do have this varifocal camera varying from 2.8 and 11 millimeters, and both of them works fine. And as soon as you could promise the resolution from the camera. Can be connected to 2 PSU as a redundancy. For this one, not. As you can see, there's only one power interface now. But since this one's quite eco-friendly, it's not that easy to cause a power interruption like the other big NVRs. Do we know the average power consumption for a typical usage scenario? It will be about 10 to 15 watt. Yeah, as Alan said, if all channels connected, it's maximum 15 watt. Oh, the switch, no, it doesn't act like a switch. It only has 2 Ethernet ports for itself, like for it to be accessed through the internet, but doesn't have a function as a switch, and no PoE as well, because this one's quite compact. If you require both power from the NVR and a network from the NVR, it would be kind of struggling to put all these into a small box like this one. Do you have some company's data of the AI box Comparison data. Yes, it was actually in the slide, but for some reason the streaming today shows the vision quality was quite poor. But we do have them. We do have them. I don't know if we're gonna share these slides in this platform or not. But if not, you can always inquire your tech support contact, and we're happy to share this. We're happy to share this data with you. What's the minimum recommended resolution for cameras? Again, yeah, it's 2 megapixel for video analysis. What will be the timetable to change your 12 volts to 24 volt? Well, I was assuming the end of this year, but for the plan to be carried out at different regions, it really depends on the local product manager's choice. Does it have mounting brackets? I kind of forgot, but if there is some, there should be in the box, because when we got this as test sample, this might be different with the actual products that got delivered to the end user or the installers. But yeah, as you can see, it does have mounting hose integrated to the own structure. They were at the corners. Oh, Alan added a answer to the switch to smaller power supply. So if you have specific project requirements, you can give us a call, and we could code that on a project base. Hike site, does it come with the pre-installed Hike Central license? No, for that, well, it's separate. It's quite separate because this is hardware, and Hike Central license you can only get it from the software side. Yes, it does actually. In the screen recording before, it does have the option of combined alarms. So you have option of 2 alarms, one as main event, the other as sub event. Yes, yes. Someone was really focused from this webinar. I could see he's answering all the questions. That's a very good job. Oh, again from Alan. Currently this one doesn't have a mounting bracket, but as I showed to you guys before, it does have the 4 mounting hose at the corners. To receive alarms, remote monitoring center must have Hikvision Pro. Not really. It depends what way you're planning to integrate with the system. If you have something like ARC control panel or HTTP listening or FTP, you could always do that instead of Hikvision. But for sure, HTTP is the most convenient way because you just add the device to Hikvision Pro like you normally do with other of our device. Oh, I might have made a mistake there. If it's IP speaker, probably not, but through the audio interface, you can do that. I don't think we had a solution with the IP speaker yet. But yeah, with the help of Hikvision Professional, you can do that as a linkage, of course. Thank you guys for attending as well. The plan to release a bigger model with a channel. Not to my knowledge currently, but that is certain a very valid requirement. But if you have, like personally, if you have more and more channels, you might just want to, switch to DeepinMind and EOS. But a channel that is definitely a valid requirement. I'll probably talk with our product team to evaluate the possibility of that. But currently, just this one, just 4 channel one. If you don't have any more questions, we're probably near to the end of today's webinar and the presentation. Glad you guys were quite fond of it and active in the comments. But if you do have more, or if you missed this presentation, the webinar, you could always talk to your local tech or sales representative to share the information with you. And yeah, I'm glad to have met you guys here, and have a good day. Hope you find the information useful. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.